Ladies and gentlemen, good day everyone. My name is Integer and welcome to episode 5 of the Failblog series. Oh, this was a bit of a ball ache to deal with, so there was a update to the game, so it said that it had cancelled my deliveries, and I was like, okay, I'm back in Stuttgart, like almost randomly placed, although maybe it's because it's a central city in Europe, I don't know. I got placed in Stuttgart, and I was like, okay, looking for a new delivery to pick up. But then I finally found something, and it said, wait, you have a World of Trucks, the online delivery still ongoing, so you must complete that before taking a new one. So then I was able to actually load back that delivery, get my truck teleported back to the border, this rest stop at the border, and it looks like we're good to go. So yeah, we're good to go. Let's keep on driving, turn the gear on, and we're off. I'm somewhat refueled. I will need to rest sooner or later, but that's always a given in this game. And I think for now we can just drive. Hi, Alaska. Someone's walk around my feet. Meow meow. What is up, sir? Such a fluffy little fucker. She's been quite big. I've been trying to get her onto some new, like, higher quality cat food, and she really didn't like it. I've been trying to phase it in for the past 2 weeks, and I've basically made zero progress. So I'm kind of resetting the thing, picked up some cheaper cat food, which I know she quite likes, quite happily consumes in copious quantities. I think we're gonna go through this one, because I think this should be one of those quick ones. Ooh, baby. Absolutely not a worry in the world. Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get her acclimatized, get her used to the new cat food again, or the more fancy one. I want her to have good quality of life and good food. Now she's just walking around asking for attention, of course, because I kind of closed her inside now. It's a bit late, and there were some other cats in the neighborhood fighting earlier, so I was like, you know what? She can stay indoors with me, haha! And I decided to record a video or a couple, so she's kind of, I'm left indoors with no access to outside, and I also have no source of attention. This is suboptimal human. But anyway, so what's been going on this week? I've started Bear and Breakfast playthrough on YouTube. I'm due to record another long play session. That's the format I'm going for, because these are very long videos, and there's like not necessarily defined beginning nor an end. Just playing, whether it's an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. That's what's gonna be dropped onto YouTube. I finished Metal Gear on stream. I hadn't realized how relatively close to the ending I was after that first session, and I think overall I very much enjoyed the game, disregarding that little bit of salt that did happen during the first stream over a week ago now. But yeah, the second game, Metal Gear 2, which is also in the same spirit as Metal Gear in terms of visuals, and I think a lot of gameplay elements are similar, although probably some of those are improved or expanded upon. It's not available anywhere. It's not on GOG, it's not on PC at all. The only way to play it would be, I believe, to get a Metal Gear Solid 3 Special Edition. I think it's either for PlayStation 3 or Xbox, which comes with Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. So basically I need to get the ROM from somewhere and try and emulate. I'm a bit iffy about doing that. That's why I actually bought Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP and a Pokemon Red cartridge. Almost said capsule. It's like, well, close enough. Yeah, and the Pokemon Red cartridge to so that I would have a clear conscience when I was emulating that. And the slowdown is because of the French border, and is anyone surprised that the French are causing a traffic jam? I don't think so. Slight dig at French. Nothing personal, just observing fact. But I'm also continuing with the Pokemon Red playthrough on stream, and it's going quite well. I'm having lots of fun. There will be other games introduced to the stream. As I have finished my Tarkov hardcore run, at least for the time being, that means that I am done with playing Tarkov on stream. I also got or either I should say re-downloaded Elden Ring, because I do want to continue with that game as well. It's probably, if I do decide to stream, say, if I do decide to stream the game this week, it will probably take me a bit of time to get back into it, kind of familiarize with the controls, how everything works, remember where I was doing, what I was trying to get to, and all these good things, but... He says while sipping British Joe. I didn't mean to pull parking brake, and that is at least decent timing, because I will need to slow down for another... Oh, look, another toll booth. French are right behind Spanish when it comes to toll booths. Very, very sad. I think I'm just good to drive straight here. Gentle braking, slow down. I think we can now keep rolling. Perfect. That guy is leaning. I'm not sure if you saw him left there next to the toll booth cabin. He's kind of leaning as if he was going to do, as if he was about to do some push-ups against the railing. Actually, I don't need to change lane because this guy's gonna be able to pull in right in front of me. Yavikshi ZS. A new fighting game advertising? Sheep versus dogs? Interesting. Farm Fighter 3000. Introduce a new character: sheep, dogs, dog sheep, and sheep dogs. Exhausted that topic pretty quickly. Also, let's pick a point where we gonna be finishing the video. I think this one is decent enough. I do want to try and make these a little shorter, a bit more concise. Something that I touched upon last week, last episode. Okay, so I've not made any progress on the Fallout 76 or the hardware reviews. I've been slacking a little bit last week when it comes to YouTube videos and editing. I'm trying to get back on track this week and try and catch up with some of the things. Also realized that, say, the Company of Heroes campaign, I have now completed 9 missions, and the campaign includes 15 of them, at least the Allied campaign. There's also, of course, the Axis campaign, at least the base campaign I will want to play. But if I'm able to be quite, how can I put this, punctual with my recordings and subsequent uploads to YouTube, I should be able to free up that slot of essentially a game being played for YouTube series by mid-August, within a week and a half, 2 weeks. And that will be a perfect coincidence with the release date of Cult of the Lamb, which I really want to check out. So that could be a game that I do strictly and exclusively for YouTube. I may try to stream it a little bit, but again, that depends if and when I pick up Elden Ring. Plus, of course, there are other games that are kind of, I have lined up for stream time. Now, hardware reviews, I just really need to get my stuff together. Get a grip, as some discount Scottish people would say. Not because Scottish people by definition are discount, is because of the very poor accent that I've done there. For some reason I felt the need to clarify. Yeah, I just need to pull myself together and actually do it. And some editing will be involved, of course, but shouldn't be too bad, and then I can push it out. And I think it is pretty cool. If you don't remember, or if you didn't hear, I've got a second-hand, relatively cheaply built computer with an i5 2500K and NVIDIA GTX 770 for graphics card, 8 gigs of DDR3 Corsair RAM, 1333 megahertz is the frequency, because the motherboard, the H61 MSI motherboard, an MATX format motherboard, does not support any faster. I would need a Z67 or Q67, if I'm not mistaken. Chipset motherboards, that, and also much better overclocking for the processor, because one of the reasons why I picked up 2500K is because that thing generally and historically overclocks very well. And I wanted to see, one of the tests that I kind of wanted to do is to compare performance, it's running on stock speeds versus, say, overclock to 4 GHz, as an example. I might not be able to get there, I might be able to get over it, we shall see, if and when I get around to doing it. Its base speed, by the way, is 3.3 GHz, so that's a, substantial increase. I think 4 GHz is perhaps being a little optimistic, given that the processor is about 10 years old and God knows what sort of use it's been put through. But at the same time, I know that it generally overclocks pretty well. There's quite a bit of headroom in terms of thermals and energy consumption. Obviously, these two things are very much related, energy and power draw. So I'm kind of hoping for a result on the more positive, slightly more beneficial, if you may, end of the spectrum. So that's the hardware stuff. I kind of had completely forgotten that I also had picked up Final Fantasy VII, the remake, and boy, that would be long series, and I was debating maybe actually wait until I finally do something or decide to scrap Fallout 76. I mean, I don't really want to scrap it, but let's be honest, it's been so long since the first video came out, and I've not done any work on the episode 2, even though I have the commentary, I have the footage, I've got the edit file that I've started working on, but I've not touched it for so long. Historically, it wouldn't be unlike me to just drop it altogether, and if I do, then now would probably that slot, higher edited, like much more effort, videos that require much more effort would probably be occupied by Final Fantasy VII. Not necessarily a definitive answer, could be another game, could be, I don't know, something like Cult of the Lamb or whatever else that comes my way. But that's at least how these cookies seem to be crumbling for the time being. I also haven't progressed anywhere with getting upgrades and replacement parts for my Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP, which I mentioned earlier. However, I did buy some new games, and boy oh boy am I excited to actually spend some time playing them. I picked up a bundle of 4 games. One of those is a Game Boy original game, and 3 are Game Boy Advance cartridges. And the games are the following. I've got the original Game Boy Tetris, so that's the original Game Boy cartridge. And it plays so well. Holy shit, that's gonna be so much fun. And I'm a fan of Tetris. Tetris for Jonas. Rip Jonas, man. Holy shit. If you don't know who Jonas is, Jonas, I can't remember his surname now, which is kind of embarrassing because I almost tried to pronounce it. He was basically 7-time Tetris, classic Tetris world champion, and then he suddenly passed away, I believe, just over a year ago. I think we're gonna try and get maybe to... There are no other really decent stops. Maybe here? I mean, we're already at 12 minutes, so if I decide to stop and rest here... What's my rest timer, by the way? Let's say that's about 2 hours of driving. My rest time is literally in 2 hours. Okay, so that's gonna be perfect timing. Cool. So yeah, big looking forward to... That's how you make that sentence. Of course, it's correct. Don't question me, please. Very much looking forward to playing Tetris. The other games I picked up are Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Kind of a random, but tried a little bit. Plays very well. Like isometric, quite pixelated, but very smooth controls and a very smooth refresh rate as well. Not sure what that would be, but just very nice gameplay. Didn't try it much other than to see if the cartridge works, but yeah, interested in that. I've got Spyro, one of the Spyro games. Again, these are all the latter two and the third one I'm gonna mention, they're all Game Boy Advance games. And the third one is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, which the series of Lord of the Rings games for Game Boy Advance are supposedly kind of like low-key Diablo games. And I tried a little bit of that, and that's looking good. And I only paid £10 for all 4 games. So what I really want to do is, instead of playing the Lord of the Rings The Two Towers game, is to pick up the Fellowship of the Ring. Start with the first one, because they don't seem to be going for too much on eBay or other second-hand outlets. Maybe £6, £7, £8 per game. So if I'm able to pick up the first one and then the Return of the King for similar prices, that would be a cracking trilogy to look forward to. But yeah, the hardware upgrades I wanted to do, of course, repeating myself, case replacement, potentially screen and battery replacements as well. Still in the woodworks, as in I'm still planning on doing it, but haven't gone and purchased, any spare parts. But I would, if and when I actually get around to these, that would be a live stream thing. I will be doing like a crafts sort of stream to replay these parts, set up those 2 webcams that I have, and hopefully decent angles, good lighting. and that should be lots of fun. And looking at the time and me yapping away, we are probably driving to this gas station now, which is, you know, it is what it is. I'll try to make it in decent time, not, you know, unless I need to do a massive detour. And holy shit, that would be annoying, but such is life when you're driving. When you're driving lorries, you know what I mean. Also, this is a bit more of a random tangent, very much a personal sort of thing. It does not necessarily. We need to be in this lane right here. Ooh, Mr. Car, Mr. Red Sedan, please drive faster. Don't brake check me, dude, because I will ram the living potatoes out of you. Let's assume he's carrying potatoes in his trunk. Is that junk in your trunk? No, sir, it's potatoes. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking and thinking about. Can't say that it's a bit too early for the actual planning phase, but I'm looking to do a little bit of a Euro trip this year. Something relatively short and that's not necessarily very expensive, but somewhere along the lines of getting the rough outline at least of the trip would be a flight to the continent across the channel from London, so say Amsterdam and whatnot, because taking, for instance, a train would be a ridiculous amount of money, like 200 quid for a single way ticket, and that's just absolute robbery. And then I realized that booking at least 2-3 weeks in advance, so for instance, if I was to book train tickets or end of August, a train ticket from Amsterdam to say Zurich or Lucerne, very picturesque, like a touristy city in Switzerland, in Swiss Alps, or in the mountains. I'm not sure if it's actually Swiss Alps. Would be about 70-80 euros, and that is mad cheap. Because, like I've said, if I was to look to take a train from London to say Paris, or those Eurotunnel trains, whatever they're called, Eurostar, that would be at least twice the price for about a third of the distance and a third of the travel time, consequently, of course. So I like train travel and I like observing when I'm traveling. So spending 6, 7, 8 hours on a train with a change, traveling say from Amsterdam to somewhere in Switzerland, and then getting like a hotel room or a cheap Airbnb room and spending like an hour, like a day or two in the mountains. Just, you know, not doing anything specifically, not going for skiing, not going for any specific treks, even if it's just a day or two to spend in the mountain city / town, whatever, maybe seeing a thing or two there, but not really plan too much, like not overload myself with plans and, you know, the burden that sometimes that can inevitably have on you. That would be, I think that would be a very nice thing, you know, for like 3, 4, 5 days. So yeah, I'm actually quite stoked about these plans, and I'll see where and if they bring me anywhere. But yeah, I think this is perfect timing. I kind of exhausted my topics, covered most of the things that I was gonna talk about. Stream, YouTube things, games played, games to be played, content to come. I'm still obviously carrying on with the Daily Dose of Death. To those of you who care, this week and next week will probably all contain more Nuclear Throne, because holy smokes, I'm enjoying that game immensely. But you know, here we are. Let me just kill all of the pop-ups so I have a chance for a click screenshot for the thumbnail. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We arrived, we're gonna rest, we're gonna put on the parking brake, turn on the engine. Is the light still on? They're off. And yeah, that was Failblog episode 5. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I shall see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye.